So today we're going to look at election. We're going to define the term election, look at the types, and discuss the merits and demerits. So at this juncture, we're simply reflecting on the features of democracy. Periodic election, we've done rule of law, we've done even the types of election as well, indirect, precisely. So we're looking at today another feature of democracy, which is an election. We're going to define the term, look at the types, and then discuss merits and demerits of two of the types of election. So the process through which people choose their leaders that will represent them in governments, is called election. And on the day of election, voting takes place. On that day, they vote to choose who's going to represent them in government. So it is defined as the process of choosing particular candidates as representatives of the citizens of the country in government. And it is done through voting. It is a feature that you see most often in today's modern world, right? So we have two major types. We have the direct election or general election, or we have the indirect election. So in direct election, in this type of election, everybody, so long as you have reached the age of voting and you are qualified and you have registered, you come out to vote. So this is the type of election which involves all citizens within the age range stipulated by law to choose their representative through the process of voting, right? So all those who have gotten to the age of voting as stipulated by the law of the land, the process by which they choose their representative in government. So what is the merits, the gains of direct election? Whoever wins is the popular choice. So majority of the people, if person A wins, it means that person A is the popular choice. So it promotes democracy, rule of law, stability. You know, democracy is all about majority. So the majority won the election, right? Now, equality, it shows that the electorate before the law, everybody is equal. Remember, in the election, they say one man, one vote. So before, in the election process, everybody has one vote. Everybody is equal in the process. So legitimacy, it means that the leader, whoever won that election, is legally accepted by the people. He has the mandate, he has the backing of the people. Public awareness and enlightenment. It provides the opportunity for people to know the programs, the policies of their representatives, by the way, because you have to convince them before they vote for you. So it gives voters the chance of electing who's going to govern them, who's going to lead them, right? Now, on a normal day, the ability to bribe voters is seriously curtailed, right? Since all voters are coming in to pick the person whom they are sure of, who has what it takes to govern them. This is in the ideal world. Yeah, the idea is that everybody cannot be bribed. You can't bribe 5 million people, right? That's the idea of indirect election. So what are the disadvantages? It is very expensive to run because it requires numbers. So you have to spend money. It's expensive. There's a high cost. Printing ballot paper, ballot boxes, printing the cards, paying those that are going to conduct the election and whatsoever. It is exposed to rigging. Election is rigged, malpractices, ballot snatching and whatsoever. It encourages political violence, snatching of ballot boxes, even shooting, beating of people. Now, corrupt electoral officers can also make this situation bad. They can collude, they can sort of, together with political parties, they can decide to destabilize or determine the outcome. Right? So as a result of illiteracy and argument, many voters may not be able to vote objectively. They may vote on tribal lines and sentiments. Now, we talk about indirect or electoral college. Now, in indirect, it simply means that the people are not voting for the representatives directly. Rather, they elect people who are now going to make these decisions on their behalf. This is a representative election in which legislators or local government units form an electoral college to choose their leaders on behalf of the citizens. So the people elect these members of the electoral college who now make electoral decisions on their behalf. That is the idea of indirect election. It's no longer done directly, right? So it's done through a process. I and you voting the members of the college, and these members now make electoral decisions on our behalf. So it can also be adopted when general elections do not present a clear winner by absolute majority. Now it is used in the United States of America. In Nigeria, we do general election. That's direct election. What are the advantages? It's because of there are few people involved in the college. It is cheap, low cost, right? And those who are elected to represent the people are well informed. So we believe that they know they can make the right choice on our behalf. So there is less room for rigging and less room for electoral violence. So it enhances the quality of those who are elected now. Whoever is elected at the end of the day to represent the people through the college is believed to be qualitative. That means the person was elected by best minds, right? Now, what are the disadvantages? It's undemocratic because the people are it's no longer a game of majority. So it's regarded as undemocratic. It vitiates the democratic process because it deprives an eligible voter of the right to vote for their leaders directly. So bribery and corruption can take place here because now, because there are fewer members of the college, they can be easily influenced or bought over or bribed. So members of the electoral college can end up picking a candidate, can impose candidates on the people, can pick the wrong leader for the people, right? Now, the election of candidate by the electoral college might not favorably disposed to meeting the aspiration of the people. Also, they may end up picking someone who wouldn't meet the interests, the needs of the people. It can now lead to discontent and political instability because the people may not be satisfied and may not be happy with the outcome or with this crop of leaders chosen by their representatives. It's another issue in indirect election or electoral college. So let's go back and look at our objectives in summary. We looked at meaning of election, types of election. We saw the merits and demerits of these two types of election. So in our next class, we're going to discuss the remaining types of election and whatever is left there.